Alright, so we're going to talk about filtering some of your turkey fry oil. Basically, after I fry my turkey, I realized that I have about anywhere from 2 to 4 gallons of oil that I want to reuse, and I don't want to just throw away, but it needs to be filtered properly. So I went about this. I said, how can I do this effectively and cheap? So under $25, what type of filter system can I build up out of common stuff from the hardware store to filter my oil after I do a turkey fry? So today we're going to talk about how I did it and then how you can do it at home. So took a trip to Home Depot, picked up these items. Detailed description will be in the comments of what they are. But basically we have two 2-gallon paint buckets, a set of paint strainers here, a 1/2-inch quick disconnect male fitting, some 1/2-inch tubing, and a female 1/2-inch PVC fitting, which will tap into the bucket right here. So here we'll size a 3/4 inch drill bit for the thread. We'll go ahead and use a light source here to try and help us mark where we should put this actual fitting to make sure we have clearance with the bottom of the bucket. So just using the shadow, we see where we want to drill the center. So we get out that 3/4 bit, drill a hole in the side of the bucket, and that will make a smaller hole that we can actually thread our fitting into. Next step in the process is we want to seal this fitting with some glue. So we're going to prep the surfaces with some alcohol to clean off any oils. We'll then mix some epoxy. This is just quick 5-minute epoxy. And then we'll apply that around both male and female threads and seat those in the bucket so we have a good watertight seal. Alright, just ran a test. Filled the bucket up with some water. And looks like no leaks, so everything is looking good. Next we're going to drill some holes in the inner bucket. We're going to make an array of holes here. These will support the filter as the oil passes through and filters out the debris. There's really not a set number of holes you need to make, but the more holes you do, the faster it will actually filter the oil. So be generous with the amount you make. In this next step, I'm actually going to take an X-Acto blade and just deburr the edges. At this point, we have finished the work done to the outer bucket. We have the quick disconnect, and we've also finished the work done to the inner bucket. So that's really all the modifications we need to make to these buckets. When we get later in the video, we'll see actually how these filters all go together. So what I sometimes do is I take a little bit of a cheesecloth and I put a little bit of cheesecloth right in the port right here down the bottom as kind of a final filtration system. Then after that, just slide this bucket in. Then you want to go back and you want to get some standard paper towels. These are the actual pick a size. I would rather prefer just the single set. So for here it's really about 2 feet of paper towels. So 2 feet of paper towels, drape over like so. Another 2 feet of paper towels, drape over like so. And finally, another set of paper towels, maybe in an X position. And then what you do is just kind of push that right down in. So, see right there, that goes in, it gives you a nice 360 coverage, and this is really your final filter setup. This is the actual where most of the filtering is going to happen. We then take these paint strainer bags. They're made out of nylon. A lot of guys use them on the brewery, home brewing websites, so they're pretty tested in terms of use in making beer. So I figured why not just reapply it over to frying turkey oil. So if you look at the mesh on these, the mesh is really fine, especially if you double them up like this. You get 2 in a kit. They're only like, I don't know, $3. So you take this through. Again, put that right down in the center. Tuck it right down. And then you just expand over with this nice little elastic band they got on these.
So now you got 2 mesh filtrations per big one. You got the final mesh, which is your paper towels, and then all that is just going to mesh out through these holes at the bottom here, and it's just really just a collection bin. There's some debris in there too. I probably would have cleaned that out a little bit better, but we'll do that when we actually go to filter it. And then you just take a quick disconnect hose, just goes right on, just push right in, and now you're set up to actually just pour your oil through. Depending on how much debris you had from your bird, you may want to take like a kitchen strainer and just put it here and dump it in. As you dump your oil in, you can handle up to 2 gallons in these buckets. So you get a nice set of head pressure, 2 gallons just really pushing out the oil. Alright, so I set this up. I used the box to my advantage, put the lid on top, gives you a little bit of elevation. That's the original container that the oil came in. I just grabbed this from inside. This is a $6 strainer from like the dollar store. Not that bad, just to keep all the big particles from entering it. Usually you can do this as one person. You may want 2 people to pour it in. Again, as long as it's not too hot. So now these are 2-gallon pails, and right here this is about, I don't know, 4 gallons of oil. So what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to load this up and then walk away and go do my business while this is actually filtering. So I can really get a decent amount of filter. You see it's still filling, and I'll get a zoomed up shot of this. When we go through, we can see how fast the filter comes out. So that's the flow rate. Nothing great, but not too bad. And this is what we see up top. So usually there'd be a lot more material in here if it was more of a dirty fry. And you can see some of the bubbles starting to trickle down there. That means we're pretty much done with the first round. So I'm going to dump the next round in. Alright, you can see that's about the tail end of it coming down. So take out the mesh just very gently. Remove it from the outside. It's got that elastic band. Just lift that straight up. And really the main part of the filter is right down here. And if you get in, you can see that brown. That's the stuff you don't want. So that's each around the hole. So what I'll do is I'll pull this out so we get a better picture. Let's take a look at it now. So as you can see, it does really goes through. Alright, so we just saw how we built the filtration system. I just want to show a detail of how it all assembles and goes together in the package. So again, you see here, this is the actual, I don't know, turkey basket or turkey drop. As you can see, it's a little bit large, but what I did was I cut an oval hole down here so that can actually fit in, because if you don't cut the oval hole, it actually sticks up a little bit higher. So once you cut that oval hole, it drops a little bit lower, so it works out better. So I pulled out my filters as we talked about earlier, pulling out my hose and pulling out my double buckets, which fit quite well. So again, all this goes inside and can be easily reassembled for use. And you go through, slide this in and down, and then your lid goes on. You even put your gas hose in there, and everything goes together.